Thanks again. Our
Of course.
pleasure. And we are transitioning to our next demo. Welcome to the show, Benny. AI-powered video personalization. How have you been?
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks there, Julia. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Doing great. We received some great feedback about this one, AI practice session. So let's just dive into it.
Okay, that sounds great. And thanks so much for the warm welcome as well. Hello, everybody. My name is Binny, and I am on the solutions consulting team here at Vidyard. And I'm incredibly excited to be able to walk you all through, rather, all of our latest or some of our latest innovations and show you exactly how we're starting to help and are continuing to help sales teams scale their outreach, improve engagement, and ultimately help close more deals. Before we dive into the demo, though, there is a bit of an elephant in the room that we should probably address. And I'm sure we've probably been talking about it throughout the webinar today, so it might not be new, and figure I'm also preaching to the choir in many respects. But quite frankly, selling today is harder than ever. And the reality is that the sales landscape has quite frankly shifted pretty dramatically as of late. And we're all running into this issue, obviously, of business just getting more difficult. And there's all sorts of signs as to this all taking place. Like we have two-thirds of reps not hitting quota when they typically used to be. And we start to maybe think about why is this all happening? And there are a wide range of reasons as to why this is taking place. But some of those reasons can include things like budgets are tighter than ever before, buyers are harder to reach than ever before. And even when reps do happen to get the right decision makers on the line, delivering the right message at the right time in a way that actually resonates with them is becoming increasingly more challenging. And as a result, we're seeing things like, less people hitting targets and also just less confidence across teams in them hitting their targets. Outreach is just getting lost in the noise. It isn't getting noticed as much, even when teams are trying to output more. And deal cycles are longer than ever, which ultimately result in less deals closing. And other times I sometimes ask if this sounds familiar, but I know for a fact this probably sounds very familiar to all of you all. And there's also, though, this recognition that there needs to be some remedy in place because there is this recognition also that buyers expect engagement that feels personal, relevant, and valuable. And this is where Vidyard comes in. Now, for those of you that haven't heard of Vidyard before, Vidyard is a B2B video platform built to help both sellers and marketers, but just go-to-market teams in general, ultimately break through the noise. And there are a wide range of use cases and personas that Vidyard can support and help out with, and happy to talk about that more at length later. But at a high level, let's just say for sellers first, Vidyard makes it very easy to create and send scalable, personalized video messages that actually get responses and get noticed. And on the marketing side of things, Vidyard is a really powerful way to host, track, and ultimately optimize video content that helps generate and qualify leads. And so there's quite a few ways that Vidyard can support your organization, and really looking forward to diving into how we could do that, especially with AI, as today's call goes on. Now, to get started, let's just start with the basics on Vidyard. Now, when it comes to just recording videos on the fly, especially for people that aren't already including video as part of their outreach, we recognize that this can be a first step for a lot of people. And so being able to make this process as easy as possible, even if we're not leveraging AI, let's just say we're using our real selves to record ourselves, we need to be able to meet people where they're at and try to, streamline those processes and those workflows as much as we can, or at least help in doing so. And so we offer folks a wide variety of ways to record themselves, whether it be, let's say, coming into the platform to do it, which I'll be honest is probably the least common way people ever use to actually record videos. And so we also then have things like a desktop app, so you could just record videos on the fly. We have all sorts of, or rather, we have a mobile app, so you could record videos, let's say, if you're out and about and just want to do something a little less formal. We have all sorts of great plugins within a lot of partner platforms that you're probably already using today, whether they be things like a CRM, an email client, even marketing automation platform, content management platforms, all sorts of ways to record videos from there. But what's probably far more common than anything else is using our free Chrome extension to record videos. Now, with this Chrome extension, we allow teams to very quickly and easily record personalized videos in seconds in three different styles. Those three styles include first a camera-only method where your viewers only see what's happening here in this rectangle. But as dictating the video, especially if this is new, like I don't know about you all, but it can sometimes take me a little bit of a while to figure out what I want to say and then say that script without tripping over my words, or maybe just forget what I want to say partway through. And so having a teleprompter available to me here is super handy that I could customize to my liking. But even sometimes figuring out what we want to throw in this teleprompter can be difficult too. And so we have an AI script generator built right in that we could prompt with specific company details if we wish to, specific persona details if we wish to, and then, we're able to then automatically generate a script. And if we then see that certain scripts are working really well, and we'll talk a lot later on about replicating top performer behaviors, if we see that certain scripts and certain workflows are really working quite well, we could standardize those scripts through what we call templates, such that anybody on your team at the appropriate time in the sales cycle could just drop in a script that they knows works well, let's say for prospecting or follow-ups or whatever it may be, and then automatically say exactly what you want them to be saying at the right time. So pretty cool features there. We also have a screen only recording option where you could just, as it sounds, just record your screen. You can mark it up with a marker if you'd so wish to. But what's probably most common is a hybrid of the two, where a lot of people will record themselves like this. They might start themselves off big, introduce themselves, say hi, whatever it may be, before then diving into the content behind them. And lots of really great use cases for this, whether it be prospecting, proposal reviews, product overviews, workflow diagrams. There's quite a few, and that's just a small fraction of the use cases there. And when it comes to recording a video, it's really as simple as just pressing start record, and then we'll get started from there to then create your video. Now, once your video is created, embedding them directly into your outreach, it has to also be very easy. And so I'm just going to use Outlook as an example here, but there's all sorts of email clients and CRMs and maps that we integrate with. Including a message is as simple as just clicking the Vidyard icon here, selecting the video you'd like to include as part of your outreach. And then including it right into the message. You could add in playlists, you could do multiple videos. And the cool thing about this is that we're not actually attaching the video file to the emails. We want to make sure we keep this email sizes small. We don't want to flag spam filters. And just like that, we're able to do that. This will then link out to a branded page for your organization where somebody could then watch this video. And all the while, too, we're also automatically generating some eye-catching thumbnails so that we're just able to engage your viewer that much more. And you might ask yourself, why does this matter? Why do we really care about adding a video into our emails rather? And the answer is really because video-based emails are far more engaging than their text-based counterparts. In fact, we see that video-based emails rather are 8 times more likely to get replies than their text-based counterparts, which is pretty significant and also kind of intuitive when you think about it, right? Like, I don't know, I'm a little bit more on the introverted side, but still, even if you're the most introverted person ever, you're still a person. And people are human creatures. Or sorry, people are human creatures. That is also true. We're also social creatures, though, at that as well. And so it comes to no surprise that people want to hear from people and not just necessarily read walls of text or paragraphs. And so, yeah, that's obviously why this is great. And the numbers prove it too. It's not just us saying it. Opt-in Monster called out that sales teams that leverage video tend to generate 66% more qualified leads per year versus those customers or companies that do not do that. So again, definitely something you want to be taking advantage of to boost up those response rates, those engagement rates, and not get left behind. Now, all that being said, like as we know, video works really well. There's countless case studies around it. It'd be naive to say though that it's the perfect solution for everybody all the time, due to reasons like, some people could just be camera shy. I live in Canada and there's some great sicknesses going around right now, and so people could be sick or under the weather, not really great for making a video per se. Maybe you're in an environment that's not super conducive to recording a video. There could be, again, a wide range of reasons as to why people aren't able to take advantage of video within their outreach, even when they perhaps would like to. And all those are all totally fair challenges. And so about a year ago, just under that maybe, we released this idea of an AI avatar, which was an industry first, hyper realistic solution for scaling go to market productivity. Now, here's a couple examples of my AI avatars. You could have 3 going at any given time. Here's me in my car. Here's me being a little more formal. There's a wide variety of styles you could see of these stock avatars, and there's some really cool creative things our customers have done as well, which I'll speak to in a sec. But getting to this point of having an avatar is super simple. All you got to do is just provide the system a 90-second training video, and we give you all sorts of great guidance as to how to do this, whether it be a video you record live right here. It could be an existing video that you perhaps select from your library. So I'll just maybe select this one for now. What the system will then do is take this training video and then use it to then start to actually create your avatar. And essentially, any elements that you have in your training video, your AI avatar will then adopt. And so, anything I'm doing here, if I'm super static, and I think in this training video, I was a little bit nervous when I did it, so I didn't really blink a lot. And as a result, my avatar has super dry AI eyes because he doesn't blink either. Some really cool things are that really add a level of dynamism to things are things like, let's say you have a pet, for example. A lot of customers have done this where they have their dog or cat on a couch behind them. And then in their training video, it jumped off the couch to do whatever pet things it does. From then on in, their AI avatar videos now also always have their pet jumping off the couch to, go for a snack or a nap or whatever it is. And it's just really cool to, I don't know, have these types of experiences be generated by AI, but also look entirely indistinguishable from a real human experience as well in them creating that video. So there's some really, really cool things that can be done there. And the cool thing about this too is that our models are also constantly improving. We have a cool update coming up relatively soon. We also just had one not too long ago. And yeah, the quality of these things are getting pretty crazy. And we'll make sure to show you an example before we're through here today. Now, to create a video once an AI avatar is actually created is also super simple. All you really got to do is come in here and select the type of video that you like to have or the style of video, kind of akin to the real life ones that we saw beforehand. We're then able to feed our avatars a script. And these scripts also are able to take advantage of everything we saw beforehand. So if we want to generate one using AI, we can do that. If we have tried and true scripts that we know work, we could pop those right in. And I should also note that I only speak English, somewhat well anyways, but my avatar speaks far many more languages than myself. So your avatar is bilingual or multilingual rather, even if you're not. There's some fun things you could do, especially as part of a global business or even just in your personal life too. I sent a couple of videos of me speaking Hindi to some family back home in India, and they were so impressed about that. But then we're very crushed to find out that I don't actually or haven't actually learned Hindi. So, anyways, really cool things you could do there, and certainly from a global business perspective, you could reach far more people than you ever could before with the same people. And just like that, you then title it, and then you could generate a video from there. So that's what it looks like to create one video, but you may be asking yourself, is this that much faster than perhaps creating a video live on the fly? And honestly, a fair point, maybe creating a one-off doesn't really make sense. But what if you had a situation where, let's say you attended an event or a whole bunch of events or conferences, and you collected a whole bunch of really great leads from these conferences, and now you want to follow up with all these different people. Creating a video for each of those people that you met and all those different leads can be, rather is very effective, but can also be very tedious from a time perspective. And so why don't we leverage AI and what we just saw, but now at scale to be able to create videos for every single one of those people at once. And that's something else that we could also now do in creating these videos in bulk, where we have a few different ways we can do this, but I'm just going to focus in on this keyword replace scripts flow for now. Where here, what we're able to do is select our avatar, but then upload information from perhaps our CRM or our marketing automation platform or anything like that, where we can include details around not only who these people are, but also what they care about. So maybe, their goals, their pain points, anything like this. And then from there, we're able to incorporate these details right into a script where we're taking those different keywords and phrases and obviously their name and other details as well, and essentially creating a customized script for every single one of these people so that if I, let's say, had 10, 50, 100 people to follow up with, I'm able to now generate videos for every single one of them. And now when it comes to actually including this video that's been created for them as part of my outreach, I don't have to do what I saw beforehand, where I went into my Outlook and perhaps created an individual email for each of those people to then send that out 50 or 100 times. Instead, what we're able to do is upon generating all these different videos for all these different people, is actually create a singular link that you could pop into your preferred distribution platforms. Let's just say HubSpot, for example, now. We could then copy this, pop it right into an email template or a campaign email, or perhaps in other platforms, a sequence or anything like this, and then automatically have those videos be sent out to the right people, contextualized with the right message, And ultimately, every recipient receives a video that feels personal. It addresses them by name, tailors the message is tailored to their needs, and ultimately just makes that whole communication to them feel that much more relevant and engaging. And also, from your end of things, helps streamline the distribution of these messages. It saves time and also, again, ensures every recipient feels valued. And so there are a wide range of use cases for this as well. I know we just kind of looked at that example of an event follow-up, but this is all great, let's say, for also things like product announcements, if you have some new things coming up, renewal reminders, seasonal promotions, even internal updates for the team. Again, there's a wide range of use cases that this can be useful for. Now, I know we've seen a few examples of videos being generated here, but probably makes sense to actually take a look at what the output of one of these videos looked like as well. And so I'm just going to make sure I could share my computer sound here. There we go. And this is one example of one of the outputs of what we just saw there around that whole event follow-up piece. I should note that we're also viewing this video within the context of a branded sharing page. So this would be branded right now, while it is for Vidyard, for your organization. So every video that's viewed is always contextualized within the context of your organization. And let's take a look at what this video looks like and sounds like.
Hey Cole, this is Benny from ABC Sales Company. It was so great getting to meet you at Inbound. I know you chatted about wanting to improve Tortoise Security Solutions' sales efforts. While talking to you and other owners throughout the event, the pain point you mentioned of not standing out from the competition came up a lot, and I'd love to chat with you more about how ABC Sales can help Tortoise Security Solutions differentiate itself from the competition. Click on the link at the end of this video for us to set up some time to chat about this further. Looking forward to it.
So that's just one example of what one of these videos could look like. Again, just to note that these models are getting better every time. And also too, there is sometimes a little bit of a lag between, what we're streaming here and what's happening through the Zoom webinar piece. And so we'll make sure to share direct links to these videos as part of our follow-up after the fact as well. But ultimately, you kind of get an idea of this idea of, you don't actually have to get in front of a camera anymore to create these personalized videos. You can now leverage AI to get to these same really great outcomes. And this kind of changes everything in many respects and did for a lot of our customers. Because now reps on your team could now send hyper-personalized videos to every new lead, every follow-up, and every closed won deal, or any other type of deal as appropriate, without actually having to get in front of a camera themselves. And now this is true personalization at scale. Now, I do want to note, and I'm sure this has come up elsewhere in today's webinar too, this isn't about replacing sellers with bots. It's really about augmenting every seller's capacity to personally connect with their customers at every point in the sales cycle, like they just didn't have the capacity for before, because time is a finite resource. And ultimately, this is about establishing, replicating, and standardizing those top performer behaviors, such as engaging key stakeholders at the right time with consistent messaging that works, and following up on the right intent signals, which are now all automatic parts of a killer sales workflow. And ultimately, too, this is really about allowing technology to do the heavy lifting for us so that reps could focus on what they do best. Things like building customer trust and moving deals over the finish line, just other higher value activities. So it's really about leveraging AI to empower ourselves to be bigger and better. But, and not to channel my inner Billy Mays too much, but wait, there is more from beyond what we just saw here, which is this idea that it's not just about necessarily personalizing outreach, but it'd be really cool if we can now personalize this outreach and not only at scale, but also now in a fully autonomous manner. So before we were kind of looking at things from a semi-autonomous way. Well, we went from manual to semi-autonomous to now a fully autonomous flow where we don't even have to lift a finger and achieve a lot of these same outcomes. And this now is where Vidyard's video sales agent comes in. Now, what Video Sales Agent, or I'm just going to colloquially say VSA, what this is essentially a tool that helps automate the creation and delivery of personalized videos triggered by specific actions in your CRM, your marketing automation platform, or other platform that could recognize certain triggers to then enact certain workflows. And to see this, let's maybe walk through a quick example. Let's just say, for example, somebody's on your website, they like what they see and they decide to go ahead and book a demo with you. A lot of you probably already have flows like this existing today in your respective businesses, where somebody here, let's just pretend their name is Sean, selects that they're maybe wanting to learn more about hosting with Vidyard. So they'll go ahead, submit this form, book time for a meeting. And what this is likely already doing for a lot of people today is one, it's booking that meeting automatically. It's assigning this lead to a specific rep or collection of reps within the appropriate territory. And what a lot of our customers did traditionally prior to VSA is that this would also then trigger a task for the assigned rep to now create a video for, in this case, Sean, to introduce themselves, kind of have that quick light introduction prior to the meeting actually happening, to have that level, or rather to establish that level of familiarity with the prospect, which can then help with engagement down the line. And while again, very effective, was kind of a tedious activity, especially imagine it's end of quarter and you have other priorities on the mind. And so while that was good, what VSA now allows us to do is automate that process, where upon receiving this trigger of somebody now booking this meeting or filling out that form, we now could automatically create a video on a rep's behalf where they're now able to make that introduction and say all of those same things that they would otherwise say in real life, but now leveraging AI. So here in this video, it's one where I'm in my car and I'm saying something like, oh, hey, Sean, sorry, I'm just going out to grab some groceries right now, but just saw you booked a meeting. Really looking forward to meeting with you to talk about your hosting needs. And again, you're able to establish that relationship before even having to get on a camera yourself. And again, this is also automatically being sent to Sean's inbox instantly. And by seeing my face and hearing my voice, Sean's able to get that level of trust and connection and familiarity with me, which will then ultimately help again engage him down the line as I reach out to him, or reach out to him rather more and more. And again, it's not just me saying this, or not us here at Vidyard saying this. This has been seen time and time again. Buyers do love this. In fact, according to Salesforce, they said that 84% of buyers say that being treated like a person and establishing a human connection is critical to winning their business. And it comes to no surprise that when teams tend to use video as part of their outreach, they tend to see 5 times higher response rates and 8 times higher reply rates. And ultimately, again, there's a lot of really good things that can happen here when you're leveraging video as part of your flows. And the cool thing about Video Sales Agent in particular is that it integrates seamlessly into your tech stack. So whether you're using systems like Salesforce, HubSpot, Marketo, SalesLoft, Outreach, and others as well, we fit right in, right? And for sales or marketing leaders, this one-time setup, which I should note looks a little something like this, where within Vidyard, you're able to set up those different templates we spoke to earlier, but you can also now use this from a video sales agent perspective where you're able to standardize those scripts. You can call out those merge fields, whether it be for, say, custom objects from Salesforce or properties from HubSpot or other values from other systems. You could pretty much define exactly what people will say based upon specific triggers, and then again, have those videos be sent out to the appropriate people's inboxes at the right time with that right message every time. And so this is able to help trigger those personalized videos automatically. It helps, as I mentioned again, kind of reach out with the right message to the right people at the right time, and you're able to ultimately scale your video outreach effortlessly. And by setting up these workflows, you and your team are essentially empowered from then on in to deliver the kind of top performer experiences that drive those results effortlessly. So a lot of really cool things that we saw there. I should note as well that when people actually watch videos, there's all sorts of great analytics and metrics we're able to present on these videos too. We'll probably go into it in more detail another time, but other things like, say, who's watching, to where they're watching from, even perhaps specifically what they're watching, all of these great metrics are not only presented within Vidyard, but also perhaps your CRM or marketing automation platform of choice. Other details too, like attention span and all these can also help determine what are the next steps from here. So imagine perhaps a workflow where if somebody watches 50% of a video or less, they're thrown into one nurturing campaign. But if they're perhaps watching more of a particular type of video, they're thrown into something else. All of these flows are able to be automated across the board. And so engagements like these ultimately help, whether it be using our real selves or AI selves based on triggers, ultimately help strengthen relationships or sales relationships with their customers and prospects, positioning them as a trusted advisor, and help keep accounts top of mind, all without having to spend hours on the manual outreach that it might otherwise. And while Vidyard's Video Sales Agent helps automate a lot of those workflows, especially at the top of funnel, other things like the single link send ensures every client feels personally valued and supported as part of those more tailored communications. And you're able to keep that level of engagement and tailorization, if that's a word, across the entire sales cycle. And together, these tools ultimately help teams deliver consistent, high value experiences that strengthen relationships and drive results. And so in conclusion, I mean, this is really just the beginning, and we're just getting started with things, and things are just getting better as time goes on as well. But ultimately, it all comes down to sales teams needing to meet buyer expectations. And Vidyard can help you do this by scaling personalized outreach with hyper-realistic AI-generated videos. We can help you automate those video messages so that sellers can focus on closing deals and other high-value activities. And we also help deliver more engagement, higher response rates, and shorter deal cycles. Now, the best way to see the impact of video yourself is ultimately to try it yourself. So please don't hesitate to get in contact with us to do so. I'm sure we'll likely be in contact with all of you after this as well. And so if this piques your interest, then really looking forward to exploring how these solutions can help your team. And yeah, in the meantime, thank you all so much for taking the time to listen to this. And yeah, we're looking forward to field any questions or anything else that y'all may have for us.
That's great. Thank you so much, Benny. Fun message. Our community is wondering, are you real or are you an avatar?
I am real Benny for now. But yeah, my avatar is sometimes a lot better at this than I am, but I am currently real Benny.
Let's keep it that way. So one of the questions we received is, what's the most creative video campaign you've seen?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I mean, there's a lot of really cool ways that people can stitch videos together as well. So they might have, let's say, some really great tailored marketing content that's been created, and then rather teams will then create personalized AIA videos or AI avatar videos for a wide range of clients using that bulk create function we saw beforehand. And then they'll stitch those videos together. So they pretty much have these tailored demos be created for prospects with a tailored introduction, not only to well, I guess to the whole demo that they're about to see, but based upon the specific use case that that particular customer is interested in. And then that leads into a very tailored, polished demo that dives into things from there. So there have been some of the really cool ones I've seen, or the outcome of those rather, have been some very cool ones. This is still relatively new though, so there's still a lot of use cases that are being developed as we speak as well. Another really cool one is that idea, kind of similar to what I showed there when somebody filled out a form, but that idea of being able to fill out a form and then receive a video from somebody saying, "Hey, I wish I could connect with you right now, but I'm just on my way to go do something, but I can't wait to connect down the line." The fact that that was created entirely with AI still kind of blows my mind. And yeah, the world is your oyster with respect to how creative you want to get with things.
Jonathan, we are welcome to the show. We are going to transition to your session in a couple of minutes, 4 minutes. And a few more questions we received here. What shouldn't you do building these videos?
Yeah, good question. Well, one thing for sure is you want to make sure, you want to keep in mind rather, that when you are creating your AI avatar, that the training video is very much going to be prescribing everything around what your avatar will then be like down the line. So when you are creating your AI avatar, try to be human. I mean, or try not to be as nervous, I guess, about it. If you're very static or still or not moving around, or in my example, when you don't blink, it definitely gives a weird, uncanny feel to your avatar because it doesn't feel as natural. So if you feel like you do talk with your hands a bit and you like to move around a little bit, I encourage you to do that. Adding some level of humanity, or like what I was talking about with those pets in the background, to those videos or to those training videos as well really helps go a long way. And also keeping the messages short, like even though video is very impactful, it's best done when done in quick, punchy, succinct messages. And so we wouldn't recommend creating videos longer than a minute per se when leveraging these AI avatars. And there are other best practices too that we have some great documentation on that we're happy to help share down the line as well.
Our folks are interested. What separates Vidyard from other solutions like this?
Yeah, great question. So I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. I think for sure our commitment to the continuing evolution of the quality of our avatars goes a long way. The wide range in customers that we have, like we have thousands of customers across both enterprise, mid-market, and even individual kind of base levels. And so we get a wide range of feedback that we're able to incorporate into our product for all these different segments. And then there's also, I would say, our integrations are huge. Being able to meet teams where they're at is so important. And, as great of a solution as Vidyard is, honestly, I think it's sometimes most valuable when you're not actually in the Vidyard platform itself, but rather when you're in your CRM, when you're in your marketing automation platform, and are instead able to leverage your Vidyard videos from there or data from your Vidyard videos from there to then help trigger other workflows. And so being able just to work with go-to-market teams across the board within the systems they're at to really deliver value is where Vidyard tends to make the biggest difference.
Another one here. What's the best way to get someone to watch my video?
Great question. So there are great best practices we have around this, including in your thumbnails, or sorry, in your thumbnail, including in your subject lines, rather, some indication that there is a video in there, and also that it's addressed specifically to them goes a very long way. Same thing with the video titles and even in the thumbnails. If you're waving and smiling, it's a lot harder to not click on a video that's personalized and tailored to you from a friendly person. So just tailoring things and personalizing things as much as you can goes a very long way.
I mean, this is great. Is there a free version? I don't know, any perk for our community to test this?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm sure we can include it in some of our follow-up resources, but there are all sorts of tiers of Vidyard's offering. We do offer a free version as well. And I think even within that free version, you could play around with some of the stock avatars. Yeah, get a feel for it from there and then get in touch with our team as well. And we'll be happy to kind of walk you through what tiers are most appropriate for your business based upon the goals you'd like to achieve. But absolutely, yeah, get started with free and get comfortable and start to see some results.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much as well.